What's going on, guys? Oh my Godzilla, back here with another very exciting Godzilla figure review. Guys, today another double review for you. This time from Bandai Movie Monster series, the Godzilla Evolved and the Kong with the Beast Glove from Godzilla X Kong, the new Empire. Very excited to take a look at these figures. Bandai definitely exceeded my expectations in some aspects and then kind of came in as expected in some other aspects. But guys, definitely excited to take a look at this pair. Hopefully the first two figures of what is a very deep line from Bandai for the GxK movie. Guys, without further ado, let's jump right in.
Oh my god!
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with our Godzilla Evolved and our Beast Glove Kong. First things first, let's go ahead and take a look at these tags, starting with Godzilla. Tags are going to be very similar to one another, and unfortunately very much underwhelming compared to what we normally expect from the Monsterverse. Instead of having like a nice really cool picture of the monster from the movie, we just have the logo of the film. Godzilla 2024 Evolved version, got that Monsterverse logo and the 2024 little emblem. Back does have Godzilla Evolved spines on it. That's pretty cool. Godzilla X Kong the Empire Movie Monster series. Taking a peek on the inside here, all the goodies. We do have a cool silhouette of Godzilla Evolved there. So at least we do have a little bit of the goodies, but I'm definitely disappointed on the cover of these tags. Kong, gonna be the exact same thing, basically. Kong 2024 Beast Glove version. The back, Kong's kind of arm, although it doesn't even look like he's got the Beast Glove, which is very interesting, but whatever. Again, Movie Monster series, popping the tag open. It does not even have Kong's little emblem. Got Godzilla. I don't know if Kong even got a little Toho emblem from back when King Kong vs. Godzilla came out. But then again, the silhouette of Kong on the inside there, Kong 2024 Beast Glove version, guys. Let's jump into the actual figures. Alrighty, we got their tags all sleeved up for safekeeping, and we're going to go ahead and start by looking at some detail, starting with Godzilla. So, detail of this figure, going to be pretty good. Starting at the bottom of the feet there. Unfortunately, no difference in paint color on the toes versus the kind of skin right next to them, which if you kind of follow the channel, you know that's something I'll kind of gripe about from time to time. But the leg detail is actually pretty good. Got all sorts of good textures. Got the kind of scales on the front, the shins, and then kind of got some more of these kind of layered levels on the back of the cap. We got kind of his little spine ridge going down the side of the leg. Unfortunately not painted, but that's okay, not to be expected from Bandai to have everything painted. Body's gonna look kind of the same, pretty good detail. The under the arm kind of gets a tad lazy, unfortunately, but it's not too bad. The arm looks good. We do have Godzilla's little new elbow spines, which, surprising to me, are painted. I would not have guessed that those would have been painted. Again, same issue with the hand claws that the toe claws kind of had. No different coloration there, which kind of is a little bit of a bummer, but that's okay. Inside of the hand does have some detail, which is always nice. Definitely appreciate Bandai giving us that. The chest kind of looks fine. Area in there, got the kind of scales, got his usual, scale pecs, kind of the abs, underside of the tail, so has a little bit of detail, kind of the usual Bandai goodies. What we have are a little bit of reading there. Moving into the head, guys, pretty darn solid sculpt and paint job. They did paint the ridge coming all the way up to the top of Godzilla's head, all three of them, so that's definitely a surprise, which is always welcome. The eyes look pretty good, nice little splotch of the pinkish color there. Teeth are not individually sculpted, but they did go ahead and paint them fairly well, so I got to give them props on the teeth there. Pretty good sculpt, all things considered. Got the good scales on the side of the head. The gills look fine. That's all very good. The spines look pretty awesome. They look a little melty, but that's okay. They look pretty good and not overly inaccurate. And the best part of this figure for me, guys, is, oh my gosh, Bandai of all places painted the tail all the way down to the end. They very rarely seem to do this, so I'm glad that they went ahead and painted the full tail. They did get kind of Godzilla's new big dangerous spikes that I'm disappointed he didn't get to use really as an offensive weapon in the last movie. I was hoping he'd slice some stuff up really well with those, but that's okay. The color of the paint that they used on the scales, kind of in the tail here, looks really good, nice and shiny. You can kind of tell, you can see that shine coming through. It's a nice kind of muted pink. It could have been a little more aggressive if they really wanted to capture anything, because they kind of wanted to capture more of his atomic power coming through there. But a very good sculpt and pretty acceptable paint from Bandai. Definitely Godzilla kind of passed the mark a little higher than I would have thought. I'm very shocked. The tail's painted all the way. The eyes and the teeth look great. I'm pleasantly surprised that the elbow spikes are painted. And Godzilla definitely gets a good passing rating on paint and detail. Moving into Kong. So, starting with the bottom, we got the toes. They got the nails painted fine. They barely have a little bit of detail in there for kind of the toe knuckles, but the nails are there, so that's good. The fur looks fine, starting at the top of the foot and kind of moving up the leg. Not a ton to say there. He's kind of almost it almost looks like they kind of brushed some darker color in on the front of his legs, which is nice. The camera's probably not picking up as well as I can see it, but if you can kind of look at like this part of his body and see how there's kind of a straight brown versus there's a little bit of like kind of a darker color coming through. That's kind of nice, just gives us a little break of just the kind of straight up fur brown texture detail there. Chest looks fine. The fur detail definitely backs off a lot kind of in the chest area. He's got his additional scars from Godzilla, the ones that Godzilla gave him in Godzilla vs. Kong, so glad they added that detail. The chest detail looks fine. Arms, gonna be fine, just kind of more of the fur detail. There's the hand, gonna have some good, you got the fingernails, you got the knuckle detail, so that's definitely nice. The fur, again, top of the arm kind of has this same, you know, the blackish undertones kind of cutting through a little bit, which is kind of nice. Moving into the back of his body, not a ton in terms of detail and paint there. Again, just kind of the same brown. He's got a little, you can kind of see some muscle definition kind of here coming through. Not too bad. They definitely gave us a little bit to look at there. And then the face looks pretty good. Kong, we've seen 3 Monster vs. Kong movie Monster Series figures, and the face sculpt has pretty much stayed almost identical all the way through. I think this one probably is the most crisp of them. The teeth look good. The tongue is painted well. It's got some detail. Top of the mouth, there's a tiny, tiny bit of detail. Let me know if you're picking that up. But the teeth are sculpted pretty well, all things considered. They definitely look very acceptable. His big kind of fang teeth are a little chunky, not too sharp, but you know, that's okay. The eyes actually look great. Good paint detail and accuracy there for the most part. The face looks good. The ear details there. And the Beast Glove, guys, a little underwhelming on the Beast Glove. They left out kind of all the little colors and logos and stuff that they could have included there. But we got a little bit. We got some gears going. We got the gauntlets there that kind of wrap around. So there's the fist detail. So they definitely didn't totally skimp on it, but in the same breath, they kind of did skimp on it. Definitely could have given us a little more. I like how they gave us the detail of this little strap that kind of goes on his palm. Kind of comes up under. That's very nice. A little bit of messy kind of paint on the knuckles there. A little bit of mess kind of coming in here. But all things considered, this is a pretty decent figure. I wish they gave us a little more detail in the Beast Glove is all. And then especially since I sleeved the tags, gives the tag a little more weight. He doesn't like to stand unless his arms are pretty far forward, kind of giving him some counterbalance. So that's kind of, one of the, the better way to pose him, get his arms a little bit forward, give him the counterbalance on that tag, just because he is kind of back heavy, especially with the tag sleeve. So you got to play with his posability a little bit to get him to stand, but a very acceptable figure nonetheless. Alrighty, articulation-wise, starting with Godzilla, no head or neck articulation. Arms will get an easy 360. Legs, also an easy 360. They catch a tiny, tiny bit toward the back there, but it's still a very easy 360 to go ahead and execute. Well, if I can hold on to the figure, that is. Tail is actually going to be fixed. So Godzilla just has the 4 points of articulation, 2 arms, 2 legs. Nothing else. No torso, no tail, no nothing else. And Kong, arm, articulation, yes, on both. That torso joint's fixed, neck's fixed, legs are fixed. So Kong even has less than Godzilla. So between these two figures, only 6 points of articulation between the two of them. They definitely are not overly posable. But that is not the end of the world. You don't come to expect too much from the posability and articulation of the Bandais, especially these days. They definitely kind of have backed down on articulation, just giving us kind of a couple points. But that's okay. How do these guys size together? Kong's a little bit big, or Godzilla's a little small. Definitely could go for Godzilla being a little bit taller than Kong there. But that's okay. They scale okay enough. It's fine. Let's go ahead and check these guys out against a couple of other figures. So starting with Godzilla, comparing them to a few other figures, going to go ahead and start off with the SH Monster Arts pre-evolved Godzilla from Godzilla X Kong. So obviously SH Monster Arts and Bandai kind of set out to do very different things with their figures. SH Monster Arts goes for a lot of detail and articulation and whatnot. And whereas Bandai just kind of has their dealio they do. And also these are two different versions of Godzilla. I just wanted to kind of show them off for the height. Next up, this is the Godzilla from Godzilla vs. Kong. This is the one that came with a DVD set. Really the only way to get a Bandai Godzilla from GxK. So there he is. Pretty similar in height. Godzilla Evolved going to stand a tiny bit taller than him. And you can see the differences kind of in the spines. leg sculpt is going to obviously be different. No elbow spikes there. Chest sculpt, definitely a little different. Godzilla Evolved, kind of definitely a little tighter. Some more sucked in. And then the head sculpt even is going to be different. Godzilla Evolved kind of slimmed down his head and tightened. It's just kind of a smaller, it's bigger but smaller. It kind of grows taller, but everything kind of becomes a little smaller. Those arms get a little longer. Tail gets a little longer. Go ahead and check out the tail here. See how Godzilla Evolved has a bit of an edge on the tail length. So there's the two Bandais side by side. This is the Hiya Toys pre-evolved Godzilla from Godzilla X Kong, the new Empire. So obviously Hiya Toys is going to be in a bigger height category, kind of a 6-inch figure and more of a 7-inch figure. And then obviously two different versions of Godzilla again, but I just kind of wanted to show you how those two stack up. Last figure I wanted to see this guy next to. This is the pink version, a theater exclusive of Godzilla Evolved from Bandai. Teaser for the next review we're going to go ahead and do. Obviously, this is just a, same sculpt, same everything, just different colors and stuff. Just wanted to give you that tease for the next review. Moving into Kong, we're going to start off with a couple of other Bandai comparisons. This is the Kong from Godzilla versus Kong. So obviously, definitely some changes. Obviously more scars and stuff, but they definitely used kind of the same body mold to an extent. Kong's got definitely a little bit bigger beard here. Very similar scowl and mouth, though. Hands are going to kind of look the same with the exception of the beast glove. Feet and legs kind of look the same, sculpt-wise at least. But check out this guy. This guy got a proper tag. I wish we had gotten some really cool new images. How cool would it have been to see a cool image of Kong, right after we got the beast glove hoisting it in the air, and a cool tag for Godzilla, any of his shots that he had as evolved, when he first comes out of the ice or when he's on the mountain roaring or just anything. They could have given us so many cool tags, but there's those two side by side. One more Bandai version. This is obviously the untagged thing that came with the DVD set. This is the Kong with the axe. So there's that size. Obviously, again, very similar. Kong's beard a little bit bigger. This figure is basically the exact same thing as the one we just looked at, although he's got the axe in that other hand. SH Monster Arts is Kong from GxK. Actually interesting, he does not have the beast glove, he does have the axe. There's the size, height. Bandai's actually going to be a little bit bigger. And it's interesting, if you did not watch my other video, the only way to get the beast glove Kong from SH Monster Arts is to buy this one, buy the Kong from the kind of the pre-evolved Kong that came out already. This is GxK. But buy this one, and then buy Scar King from SH Monster Arts, and Scar King will come with an interchangeable arm to give him that beast glove. But here's how these two figures line up. Last Kong to check this guy out next to is going to be the Hiya Toys Kong. Again, obviously this guy's a little bit taller, totally different vibe, more detail and whatnot. This is from Godzilla vs. Kong. No Hiya Toys GxK Kong has been announced yet, so looking forward to getting that beast glove Kong from Hiya Toys. But here is what we have to look at for now. So this has been Godzilla Evolved and Kong with the beast glove from the Bandai Movie Monsters series for the movie Godzilla X Kong, the new Empire. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Definitely let me know your thoughts on these two figures in the comment section below. Hopefully from Bandai, these are the first of many we get. I at least hope we get Scar King and Shimo from Bandai, the movie Monster series. It'd be really cool to see Scar King. It'd be interesting to see, because Scar King would have to probably, if they did kind of everything in scale, which Bandai doesn't really do everything perfectly to scale, but if they did, Scar King would have to be, yay high, and then Shimo would have to be, yay high on all fours, but, this, huge. So we won't get Shimo in scale. If they do a Shimo, I imagine it will be a very small one, probably the same length as Godzilla, and this height maybe at best. I really would be interested to see how much Bandai would give us if they did a Shimo. And then it'd obviously be really cool to get Suko and some more of the more kind of obscure Titans that we didn't see too much of, Scylla or Tiamat from Bandai. I definitely am always in support of Bandai giving us more Movie Monster series goodies. But guys, let me know your thoughts on these two figures in the comment section below. What are your thoughts? Do you have them? And are you hoping for more Bandais? I definitely cannot wait to jump in and review 2 theater-exclusive Godzillas in the next video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more, and we'll see you in the next one.